Thank you for making time to be here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started. We know more family members will join us, but we are already impressed by the diversity here. To officially kick off this event, I think we should listen to the Ukrainian national anthem. So if we can just, I guess, listen with respect. And then we start the event shortly after. Thank you. All right, thank you very much, everybody. My name is Yemi Babington Ashaye. I lead United People Global as the president. As you know, we're a community of ordinary people who believe that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when we come together. We are shocked, depressed, we are suffering because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We do not have an army, but we have good people. And so among the things we know we can do, because we believe everybody can do something, among the things we can do is to come together. At the very least, we can share our agony. At the very least, we can share our understanding. At the very least, we can comfort our brothers and sisters. And we have Ukrainian brothers and sisters here with us today. And so we will give them the floor. But I wish us all a productive session. As we speak now, Ukrainians are dealing with an invasion. They are living in fear. They are living, obviously, without peace. They are living sometimes without food, without heat. And so we participate from the comfort of our homes or offices. But I hope that we can bear in mind that this is not just another conversation. And so please let us come ready to listen deeply enough to be changed by what we hear. But let us also come ready to share. Even if all you want to share is that you feel like anger, or you feel sadness, or you feel like I know nothing, let us be ready to share, because this is what community is about. So thank you once again for joining us. We do have an agenda, and the agenda calls that at this point, we invite anybody who wants to speak to raise your hand. And if you're called upon, you will have the mic just to share some of your initial thoughts. Now, in terms of the agenda for the day, we will start with initial thoughts from the audience. Then we will invite our Ukrainian family members to speak. Once they are done speaking, we will be able to ask them questions, if that's okay. So it'll be an open floor. Once again, anybody can ask them questions. Then I will give some remarks, and then the floor will be open again. And we can ask questions either to our Ukrainian brothers and sisters, to each other, to me, it doesn't matter. And then we begin the process to close this specific event. As some of you may know from the website, we will host these events for as long as we need to. That's okay. At this point in time, we have one this week and another one scheduled this week. So I hope we understand the flow. We expect to be done in about 90 minutes. Let's see how it goes. So the floor is open. I see hands. Thank you so much. So if you want to speak, please raise your hands. And the first hand I saw is Jefferson. So why don't we go with Jefferson and then Keneilwe after Jefferson. So Jefferson, please. Just give your name, where you're from, and then share what you want to share. The question is any initial thoughts that you want to share with this community.
Okay, thank you so much, Jamie. Thanks everybody for being here too. So I would like to share something. I'm from Colombia, Cali, Colombia. If you don't know what Colombia is, it's like we have dealing with a lot of human rights violation, and also, you know, that we are one of the first countries that we export cocaine and some illegal plants because our governments and some corruption that we have. I am one of the person who have lived with my family because I have been displaced from my birthplace, from my family because of the war, the civil war that we have in Colombia. And most of them are African descendants and indigenous because we used to live in this beautiful land, you know, in the jungle with fruits and all the organic food. And because of the war, they wanted to plant cocaine. They made people to be in this place to the capital. So I was one of them, and also my family. So I could say that I understand deeply what is being displaced from a country or from a city when there is war. Also, my brother couldn't make it because he lost his life where we were, you know, trying to escape from the place. And it's so sad. And now when I see that this is happening in Ukraine, I say like it has been happening in different countries, not only Ukraine, but now it's this country that it has been like beaten by Russia. And I feel like I'm still standing for our people or our community. When I say community, it's not African descendant or indigenous, because I work for human rights in general. So we have to be here to work through empathy, compassion, love, and support people. Because that's the thing that we come here to work, to serve through love. And that's the only thing that we could do. So I could use anger, you know, against those people. I could use any kind of negative method. But, you know, I chose love to change my surroundings. So basically it's that. I just wanted to say that and share this part of my life. And I'm here to support, to continue working and to find solutions and continue discussing this that is happening. So thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you so much for letting me.
Thank you so much, Jefferson. And we are sorry for your loss. You can see comments in the chat. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing. I believe, Keneilwe, you've got the microphone next. If you can please unmute. Justin, if you want to speak, or anybody else, please show your video. please, if you want to speak. But Kenelwe, you're next. Thank you.
Hi everyone, how are you? This is Kenele from Botswana. I have never experienced war. I come from a country we have political stability. I think for most of my life or all of my life, and I've never understood war. So my initial thoughts when the war broke out between when Russia invaded Ukraine, I didn't understand why there were debates on, political debates across the board on why Russia invaded Ukraine. I didn't understand. But what I understand is every human being has a right to life, and the right people's rights are being violated. And you don't have to understand. We don't have to go into the economical um, implications of war or whatever the reason being for a country to invade another country. At the end of the day, human rights are being violated. Everyone has the right to life. And for me, it was a shock. And then I started being emotionally invested into the war because, as I've said, I've never experienced war. I've never even been in, Botswana are the kind of people we can talk online, but just having an argument, it's very uncomfortable for us. We are not, how do I say this? We are not a provocative people. We don't, fights still make me very sad. Like if I witness a fight, I feel very sad. So imagine a full blown out war. So for me
Okay.
to see young children being displayed, I think being displaced, I think that was the biggest thing for me. I mean, imagine waking up and then all in a few hours your life changes, your country changes. So for me, it's a very, very sad situation. And unfortunately, I'm so emotionally invested. I cry every time I watch the videos. But I think one thing I can take away from this is the passion of the Ukraine people. I mean, oh my God, I've never seen a people so passionate about that country, so ready to defend that country. And that is one thing I've taken from this, that, regardless of the problems in my country, I want to be as patriotic as the Ukrainian people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kenelwe. All right, Noel, you had your hand up. I was going to come to you next, but you don't want to speak anymore? Would you like to speak? All right, you got the mic. Go, Noel, please unmute yourself.
Thank you. Hi. Okay. So hi everyone. I'm Noel. I'm from Tunisia. If you don't know Tunisia, it's a small country in North Africa. So regarding the current state that Ukraine is currently in, like living, it's such a shame for the political parties to make such people live such things, such a horrible thing. So actually, I'm currently vice president in ISEC in Tunisia. In the global, I'm responsible of the global exchange on the international level. So I've met a lot of people, a lot of Ukrainian people, really nice people. So I think that the war in general, or the political problems that we are currently living or like facing, are not quietly. This is not the first time that we're living such horrible things. In my country, for example, we had a revolution in 2011, and it was really unstable. Like until now, we're not living a political or stable political state. But I think that it's not that horrible as Ukraine or Syria or many other countries that are currently living. So what I really want to share is just we should spread love, peace, and most importantly, we are standing together with the Ukrainian people. We are standing together as a community, and it's such a pleasure. And I'm really honored to see that UPG is currently organizing such an amazing event, and we are really creating the change. Yami, I really want to thank you for this beautiful space that you are giving us the chance to be part of. It's such a pleasure to see, even if we are doing this online, like it's such a pleasure to see people gathering from many countries to just spread peace and love. And I just heard some of you, and just so many of you writing many comments, and it's such it's that you are just spreading love, and this is what I really want to see as a human being, just coming from a country from North Africa. And I've been I've seen many political instability in my country and in many other countries, civil wars and like political problems. And I just want to spread just positive vibes. And if we are going to I don't know, if we are going to maintain stability in many areas in our world, we should just be the change we wish to see in the world. So just thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for giving me the chance to be part of this event.
All right, thank you so much, Nawal. Thank you. All right, so we are going to hear from our Ukrainian brothers and sisters very shortly. There's two hands that have been up for a long time I want to take, and then we will transition to hear directly from our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. So Ben, you got the mic. Justin, if you put your video back on, you got the mic next. And for everybody else, the agenda will allow more opportunities to speak. So let's take Ben and then Justin, and then we transition to our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. Ben, please.
All right. I just wanted to say, obviously, growing up until I was about 11 or 12, you know, my dad was in the army, in the British Army, and served in Sierra Leone, Kosovo, Bosnia, Northern Ireland, Afghanistan, Iraq. And so growing up, my dad was never around. And as I got older, obviously, I spoke to him about his experiences, you know, in war. And, you know, over the course of 22 years, he'd been to 18 different wars. And so to talk to him about it and to kind of get an understanding of what he went through, you know, the one thing I took out of it is that no one wins. You know, you take, you know, Iraq, for example, or Kosovo or Bosnia, and, you know, no one won. Everyone lost. You know, the countries themselves have to rebuild from nothing. The people have nothing. The people that go in to help those people, you know, their friends die, their families, you know, they die and their families are affected. You know, growing up, I didn't have my dad around much because of that. And so it goes back to that age-old saying that in war, no one wins. And unfortunately, you know, I could use a million Winston Churchill quotes right now, you know, about Putin. But unfortunately, there are people in the world that are selfish and that for some unknown reason, you know, some narcissism, I don't know, believe that they have the right to inflict, you know, damage and pain to millions of other people for nothing more than self-gratitude or self-whatever. And so, you know, I just want to say that I stand with all of you, that what's going on is disgusting. And I hope that, you know, not only can there be a peaceful resolve, but can there be a resolve where you guys, you know, are afforded, you know, what's due to you, because what's happened to you is just completely unacceptable beyond belief. And that goes to everyone else that's ever been affected by war. And I'm sorry that you've had to be affected by it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Justin is the final hand in this round. Everybody, please put your hands down. We will have more time. So Justin, your hand has been up a long time. You've got the microphone.
Hello. I'm Justin from Rwanda, and I'm really happy to be with you. I'm not good in English, but I think everyone can hear me.
Yes.
That terrible story of Ukraine and Russia is really very shocking me, as our country have some similarity of human violation. You remember genocide in Rwanda, and today when I listened to that reason, it shocked me. It was like a knife that cut some part of the body. So I think the believer have to pray hard for those
Did we lose his connection?
who live in Ukraine, so that God can save
Okay.
them. Other thing we can do is to use our Ukraine. Hello.
Justin, we're losing your connection. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
You're making
sorry.
some points of things we could do. I think I heard you say the thing and then the other thing. Is that what you're doing?
Just we have to.
Oh, what a shame. Each time he's about to give us the message, the line disconnects. It's as if we got sensors working. Justin, you want to try?
Yes.
What's your key message of what you would like to see us do?
Just tell everybody where he is on the world. Stop. Tell Russian that he must stop the war so that Ukraine can return to their peace.
Thank you. Very clear,
you.
very powerful. Thank you so much, Justin. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. There will be other spots where we can listen to each other again. At this point in time, I want to invite our Ukrainian brothers and sisters to please take the mic. And I will invite Danka Kapitsa, if possible, to to help us just to coordinate. So
Yeah,
who will speak
thank you.
first and who will speak
Yeah.
next?
Thank you, Yemi. Thank you, everyone, that you come here, and thank you for your words of support. I am a UPG sustainability leader from previous class, and today with me is Alejandra and Nata, and also Oksana and Valeria. And we prepared some important information for you. Alejandra will go first, then Nata, and then me. So I'm starting to share in my screen. Alejandra, floor is yours, but one moment.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear UPG family. I'm so happy to see you. It's a pity that it is a terrible situation, a terrible reason for us to come together. I would like to say good evening, my dear whole UPG family. You know, today in Ukraine, these simple words, good evening and good morning, means that we're still alive. Because every day since February 24th is not good for any Ukrainian. On February 24th, early in the morning, Russian army started bombing Ukrainian cities, airports, and strategic objects all over the country. About 5 o'clock in the morning, I heard my husband's worried voice, "Honey, wake up." What happened? I asked. And he said, "It has started. Get up, get dressed, and take documents, money, and the most necessary things." I do hope that if not all of you, that at least most of you didn't feel that fear ever in your life. I could give you a lecture about the history of this conflict, about 300 years of repressions, genocide, and other attempts of Russia to destroy Ukraine and Ukrainians. 300 years, can you believe it? But it needs more time, and we don't have this time. So I will ask you, did you know that Ukraine is the largest country in Europe? And have you seen the size of Ukraine compared to Russia? You can see it on the map that Danka shows you. So now when you see it, I want to ask you one question, but before it, you have to know a few things. First of all, the war in Ukraine started in 2014. It lasted for 8 years. In 2014, Russia attacked Ukraine and occupied parts of Ukraine. During these 8 years, the war was localized in few regions. So on one hand, we have Ukraine with occupied territories. And on the other hand, we have Russia, which is one of the largest countries in the whole world, which has one of the largest armies in the whole world, and with nuclear weapon. So my question is it possible for Ukraine to be a real threat for Russia? As for me, I don't think so. And Russian authorities forbade to call this war a war. They prefer to call it a special operation, which is aimed to avoid war. But after realizing, Danka, please go to the next slide. After Russians realized that Ukrainian army is much stronger than they thought, and Ukrainians are ready to stop Russian tanks with having no weapons in their hands, they started to attack hospitals, kindergartens, houses, orphanages, towns with no military infrastructure, civilians, old people, women and children. They kill reporters and activists. Russian propaganda said that they fight only with Ukrainian so-called neo-nationalists, while bombing maternity hospitals with pregnant women and newborns. They placed their tank, artillery, and other military machines between civilian houses and buildings of civilian infrastructure to avoid the answer of the Ukrainian army. This is a terroristic tactic, but they are even worse than terrorists. They want to destroy every Ukrainian, even the unborn. So, since February 24th, Ukraine has lost 103 children. They were killed. More than 100 children were wounded. More than 200 schools, 30 hospitals, 2,700 houses were destroyed. Thousands of civilians were killed. These are only approximate numbers. Even the UN supposed that real losses are much higher. We can rebuild houses, hospitals, and schools, but nobody is able to resurrect Ukrainian children. Danka, please go to the next slide. Many Ukrainians had to run away to save their lives and their children's lives, which is more important. 2,800,000. This is the number of people who crossed international borders since February 24th. It is the number of Ukrainian refugees. 1,800,000. It is the number of people who had to leave their homes and move to a safer place. I use the word safer, not safe, because today in Ukraine there is no safe place. I am one of this person. I am IDP. Today my sister, my 2-year-old nephew, and I are internally displaced people in our own country. Today all Ukrainians are gathered together as never before. Over 80,000 men came back from abroad since February 24th to protect their homes. Today, Ukraine is a shield to the whole democratic world. We protect peace and democracy from Russia's terrorists. We pay a huge price for that. The cost of this protection is our lives. Thank you.
Nata, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Danka. Hello, everyone. Hello, dear UPG family. Yes, I was also a member of UPG from the previous year, and it's a pity that the opportunity for me to speak here is like this, is our war in Ukraine, but at least, yes, we want to raise awareness of this situation which happened in this terrific war. I will continue from Alexandra's words. You can see the map of our country, and really you can see, as Alexandra mentioned correctly, there are no safe places in Ukraine. There are more or less safe places, but you never know what will happen tomorrow. And as you can see, the most occupied territories and most dangerous territories are the eastern part of Ukraine, the north part of Ukraine, and the south part of Ukraine, which are close to Russian Federation. These all territories which has their neighbors, like Russian neighbors, yes. And as far as Russia took away Crimea in 2014, again, they can use their forces to go into our country, to go into our territory. And you see that the bomb attacks are the most in this part of our country. And also, unfortunately, with the collaboration of Belarus, they came from that part as well, and they are heading towards the Kiev Kyiv, as you might know, is the capital of Ukraine, and they are very close to our capital. They're even in Kyiv Oblast, it's Kyiv region, and they are heading to our capital, and there are some humanitarian crises in this city, which I want to share with you on our next slides for your better understanding what is happening there and the most dangerous areas. So Danka, could you please go further? As you can see on this slide, this is the first slide, there are some cities which strive the most. This is the Mariupol, which you can see on the left corner, where this city was attacked by bombs, by airplanes who was giving the bombs to the city. More than 2,000 Mariupol residents have died, and meanwhile, when we are having our lecture, our session with you right now, we've got an information from our Telegram channels that just like 30 or 40 minutes ago, Russian bombs were directed to the Mariupol drama theater. And unfortunately, lots of people died there, mothers with their children. They were hiding in this theater because they have the background. They can go there downstairs and hide, but unfortunately they were attacked by the bomb and many of them died. But so as you can see, everything is happening right now, and you never know what comes next. And there are also some cities in Kyiv Oblast, which you can see the pictures on the right corner and in the center. This is Bucha, Hostomel, Irpin, and Vorzel. All these cities, they are cities of Kyiv region. This is the northwest part of Kyiv Oblast, where the Russian armies and Russian troops are going from Belarus direction towards Kyiv. And they made the lives of the cities impossible. They block the green corridors, they block people to go there to escape from the cities, they block the humanitarian aid which are aiming to the cities, and of course they are bombing the bridges, the buildings itself, the hospitals, and so on and so forth, for people not to go out of the cities. So Danka, please go to the next slide. And here you can see what we also want to put attention. Of course, Ukrainians are struggling, Ukrainian citizens. But as you can see, and we were all surprised just a few days ago, the missile bombing was very close to the European nation border. It was only 20 kilometers to the European Union, yes, because it was Lviv Oblast, and the bomb attack was even there. There was I would say the military airport which was attacked. So they are trying to make the fear not only for Ukrainians but for whole Europe as well. That's why we are calling Europe to help, and Russians are making and creating a lot of fake news and fake disinformation to say that it's not a war, that is a special operation, and they are protecting Ukrainian people, not killing them. And also you can see the picture of American journalist who was injured in Irpin. Irpin is Kyiv Oblast. Thanks God he's alive, but unfortunately his colleague was shot and he's dead. And now we are aware of 3 foreigners who've been attacked or even killed by Russian troops during this war. So unfortunately, even journalists, even medical workers are also struggling from it. Of course, it's not safe now in Ukraine. And Danka, can you go please next to the next slide? And yes, this is the slide I want to share with you as well about even I want to talk about the disaster, about the ecological disaster, because as you might know, we have some nuclear plants in Ukraine which were attacked by Russian bombs. We are talking about Chernobyl, and Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. And it's also can be an ecological disaster, as I already mentioned, because if these plants will be attacked, bombed, and ruined, all this nuclear power can spread all over the Europe to neighborhood countries, even to Russia as well. But Europe will struggle as well as our Ukrainians. And what I would say that in Zaporizhzhia, Russian troops, they even occupied this plant, and they declared that this is their territory, and they declare that this plant now it's like in their place. Yes, they is having the plant, so it's also a disaster. And I also want to mention about Kharkiv. It's one of the cities on the east part of Ukraine, unfortunately, with also struggling. Yes, you can see on the map which Danka is sharing. This is Kharkiv. It's here, yes, right in the middle of this terrible situation where people are struggling from bombing, and this city is almost destroyed. So more than 600 buildings have been destroyed in Kharkiv, and now the bombs are going to civil buildings, to hospitals, to theaters, to libraries, clinics, schools, etc. And unfortunately, this city is also almost have the humanitarian crisis. And I think the next slide will be from my side, and the last one. Unfortunately, what you can see, this is a satellite picture of Mariupol, another city who's been also almost destroyed. This is the Zaporizhzhia region. It's an east part of Ukraine. And what Russians have stated is they were saying that they are just trying to attack the military objects, just keep civilians safe. But again, it's not true. It's a lie. It's a big lie. What you can see, this is the destroyed city, which was beautiful city before. So I think this is all from my side, and I will give my floor to Danka. Danka, please go next.
Okay, thank you, Alexa, and thank you, Nata. Actually, I will go shortly. Sorry, my laptop. How can we help Ukraine? Together, we created like this short guide. How you can help Ukraine now? Shortly, firstly, you know that it's like donation. I guess UPG will tell you later how you can donate. From our side, there is like three, even more organization. The first one is Return Alive Foundation. They help Ukrainian soldiers since the war starting in 2014, when Crimea was occupied by Russia, and this went in the east of Ukraine. Another one is National Bank of Ukraine, and another platform is Help URNow, because you could find the different organization, as small as big, and donate. There is like different kind of organization which helps army, which helps children. And another one, Goodwill Love. Now, as I know, UPG resisted only one Ukrainian organization, but we are working on to like register more Ukrainian organization in Goodwill Love. But concerning donation, guys, we really ask you to be careful, because you know, something could happen. There is like fake news and money swindlers. Unfortunately, please solve before you decided to donate, please like check out the sources. Is it official or not official, or just write me or someone from Ukraine whom you know. Okay, another one is not donation, but steps when you how you could help Ukraine, because donation it's one thing, more important to be active. We ask everyone not to be silent, share information what is happening in Ukraine right now. You could use these tags. And also my colleagues prepared some short video about what is happening in Ukraine now. It is in 8 languages. You could download and share in your social media. Another one is petitions. Actually, you can find petitions here. You know, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest petition which I know and which I signed, it was petition to close Ukrainian sky. If I'm not mistaken, it's was like 1.2 millions of voters who signed this petition. Another one is join rallies in your country. We also prepared like, we also prepared a list. I'm so sorry. Sorry for delay. Yeah, we also prepared a list of rallies in your country, so you can go and like stand with Ukraine. Another one is boycott Russia goods. Why it's so important for Ukrainians? Because you know, some brands like abounded in Russia went from Russia. Because if you buy something that you should understand, if you buy something that produced by Russia, it means for us that you support Russia, you support country which invade in Ukraine. Another thing is report war propaganda. As you know, so many channel TV channel newses in Russia show like us fake news, and it's really bad for us. Another thing is, am I your local politicians? Why is this important? Local politicals could help like us to show the world what happened. They could discuss and from lower go to higher. Ask them, please pursue NATO to close the sky over Ukraine, increase military and humanity support to Ukraine, and as I mentioned, ban all trade with Russia. Another thing, if you have like some relatives, oh my God, what is going on? Sorry. If you have some relatives or you know some from Russia, please write them and ask them also go to rallies. In this presentation, oh my God. Yeah, in this presentation, you will find all links. And another slide, we want to show you that it's really important to know what is happening in Ukraine. We created this media. You can write them all in English, but also, for example, Ukrainian, you can find the info in 9 foreign languages, so not only for English. And another slide, will be the last one. I guess you know how it's important for us, for Ukrainians, to use vocabulary, but appropriate, truly vocabulary. would deeply ask not to use not to say the Ukraine, say Ukraine, because Ukraine is sovereign country. We are independent. Don't use the Ukraine. Another thing, don't say conflict with in Ukraine, because it's not a conflict. It is like real Russia's invasion in Ukraine. Don't even say war between Russia and Ukraine, because if it would be like war between Russia and Ukraine, it means for us that Ukraine are interested in this war. Ukraine isn't interested in this war. We want to stop it. Another thing, it's easy one, but some foreigners usually make mistake. Don't say Kiev, because it's like from Soviet Union, it's in Russia. Just say Kiev. And thank you. It's for now for us. If you, I guess, Rodrigo, it's time for questions or no? If yes, we could answer your question. If there will be next time blog, we could also answer your questions.
Yes, absolutely. Please, can we show them some love, please, even if it's just with the emojis or in the chat? And a big thank you. Thank you so much. That was a powerful presentation. And if you look in the chat, you will see that people have appreciated it. So thank you so much. It is time for questions. So anybody who wants to ask a question or react or something, please raise your hand and you'll be called upon. Please. Okay. If you show your video, it will help so that we know that you are present, you're with us. Thank you. All right, Miriami, you have the mic. Please say your name, where you're from, and then ask your question. Thank you.
So first of all, thank you to these fascinating people. I am Maria Migakidze from Georgia. So it's a country near Russia. So I think that Georgia is one of the countries which knows this situation best, because we have some experience of Russian aggression, because in 1992 and in 2008 we had war in Georgia, and 20% of my country is occupied by Russia. So I know all the situation, what's about in Ukraine. My days is starting with the news in Ukraine and finish about this news also. So I am international law student, and I know all the legal aspects of this situation, because, for example, I worked on the cases of the victims, because I work in the Ministry of Justice of Georgia, and there was some compensation for these people. But I want to say that when these people are died, when we lost our fathers, sisters, brothers, and so on, compensation is not enough for us, and sometimes it does not matter anything. I know that today, a few hours ago, there was some judgment of International Court of Justice, which clearly said that this invasion is illegal, and it orders that Russia suspend its invasion. And it's a very, very important decision, because it's very precedental, and it's the first case when the court said it. But I want to say that law does not mean anything to Russia, because yes, we have some cases, some judgments, decisions, and so on, but it cannot change anything today. because Ukrainians are dying now and they need our help. I am involving in different activities like gathering in humanitarian aid. I am also a volunteer and I'm going to go to help children and women which are going to Poland from Ukraine. But I think that one of the presentators who absolutely described all the situation very well, and thank you so much for it, because you searched some time in this horrible situation to talk us, and thank you for all of this. One of them said that if we buy some products, Russian products, it means that we support them because they use this money against Ukraine together their military. So they does not matter if there are international humanitarian law, if they are attack civilians or combatants and so on. They do not have any priorities and any pros. So I think that what we can do in this situation is to help Ukrainians what we can to do, and it's to if it's possible, give money to them, and also not to buy Russian products, and also to speak more and more about these problems. You know, because of sanctions, many Russians come to Georgia because not because they don't like their government, or not because they don't like war in Ukraine. No, they come in Georgia because they don't have comfort in their country. So Georgians try to understand them that it's not okay. It's not okay to kill someone, and it's not okay to take their territories. Now in this situation, we all know that it's invaded Ukrainian territorial integrity and sovereignty, and it's fact. But I think we can more to do now to gather, to speak more and more about it, because I think we are the youth who can make the world in a better way. So thank you so much. Slava Ukraine, Geroyam Slava. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariami. Thank you so much. All right, I see hands. Who wants the mic next? Bernardo, why don't you go next, please?
Thank you very much, Yemi.
Thank you.
I'm 1,000 miles away and I'm heartbroken like most of my colleagues in this call. So thank you very much for sharing your experience, and I'm sorry for what you're going through.
And where are you from, or where are you right now?
I'm in Brazil. I'm an international lawyer based in Brazil.
All right.
So that's...
Please proceed.
Yes, yes, sure. So this situation, much like it is for Mariami, is appalling to me for several reasons in international law, and for the humanitarian reasons which you guys have raised in a very eloquent way. There's a quote I really like, which your presentation has reminded me of, which is, when you turn over rocks and look at all the squiggly things underneath, you can either put the rock down, like most people do, or you can say something of the likes of, it is my job to look at the squiggly things underneath. And even if that scares the hell out of you. As young leaders, I think it is all of our jobs to look at the squiggly things in international politics, in the world. And war is a very painful thing we must all look at and deal with, because it's the lives of real people suffering, and we should all do something about it. So I give lectures on international politics, international conflicts, and Ukraine has been a topic of several of those lectures. In what I can help, I will, and I can commit to, in those lectures, bring the messages you guys have brought us here and inform more people of the ways of helping Ukraine, of what's going on with regards to the invasion of Russia in Ukraine. And I would also like to ask, merely as an academic that studies this, and as someone who is here filled with compassion for your situation and that wishes to help, how do you as Ukrainians see the performance of President Zelensky in this crisis? How would you evaluate that given your situation and your first first-degree interaction with all that's happening and this invasion of Russia.
All right, thank you, Bernardo. Alexander, you unmuted your mic. You want to give him an answer to that question?
I guess Nata was first. Nata, would you start?
Nata, sorry. All right, Nata, go.
Okay, thank you so much, actually, yes. Well, thank you for your question. I would say that we're really thankful. I mean, all Ukrainians are thankful to our president. We support his actions, and we are very united at these times, and we are very grateful for his enormous job, what he's doing for us, for our country, because he's still in Kiev, he's based over there in his president administration. He's not going to go anywhere, and he's fighting for different, I would say, with different horizons. Yes, he's supports our army, he supports our nation, he's dealing with foreign diplomatics and making all these interviews and negotiations and diplomacy to receive support for Ukraine, both from the US, from from European Union, yes, and from other countries who can provide support to us. So we are fighting on different levels, I would say, and we really support our president.
Awesome. Thank you, Nata.
And
Alexandria, did you want to add something?
Yes, I would like to add a few words. It is terrible to realize, but with the beginning of this invasion of Russia, I guess Zelensky became the best president of the independent Ukraine, because he do his best. He does his best. He acts like a real leader. And we have even jokes that he is so strong and his character is so heavy that he didn't go to USA when President Joe Biden, I forgot the word. Well, he wanted to give a plane to evacuate Zelensky to the USA. So we have even joke, but now he is the best for Ukraine, and he doesn't sleep. Well, you see how does he look, and he really cares, and he's the best for now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Agala, your video is on. You look ready. Please go for it. Unmute yourself, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And also thank you for the Ukrainian guys for this comprehensive presentation. I am from Azerbaijan, also near to Ukraine, geographically and also heartily, I mean, because here are people's heart beating with Ukraine these days, and civil society is doing its best to push government for support to Ukraine. And also personally, I am doing my best to promote Ukrainian motion these days. I'm really sorry, and my prayers is with Ukrainian this recently, and I have so close friends, Ukrainian friends, and in a daily basis I get in touch with them and ask about their well-being and situation. And I would mention that there is a UPG members participant, Joanna Carla from Philippines, and I am doing PhD in international relations, and she asked me to give a lecture, and I told her that I can give a lecture on Russian invasion of Ukraine, and we organized it in the 11th of March, this March, and on Russian invasion of Ukraine to Philippines people. About 80 people joined this meeting, and I explained that what's the motto and why this invasion is illegal, and why Ukraine is just, Ukraine's side is just in this conflict. I just wanted to share my prayers, my good prayers that they are with Ukraine, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Agala. All right, among the other hands. All right, Phanindra and then Shola. Why don't we go there? Phanindra and then Shola. Phanindra, you may unmute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much for letting me to speak. Sisters from the Ukraine, this is Phanindra from India. I know we are very far away each other's, but I still share the love, I still share the pain, I still share the empathy that you're going through each and every single day that I'm waking up and praying for the best for the Ukrainians. I wish this war comes to an end. I'm hoping and praying my level best. As me, as a person, as a teenager, as a youngster being in India, what I could really do is to stop spreading false messages. And this will be my responsibility and, and stopping spreading of false messages in countries like in India, where it actually spreads false messages like the viruses. So it is my duty to not to spread any kind of false messages. The presentation just now I heard has made me to involve with the immense of knowledge and very insightful of a lot of thoughts. So the next time if someone speaks of any kind of false allegations towards Russia, either Ukraine, it is my responsibility being a UPG sustainability leader that no more false allegations, no more false misconceptions about Ukraine, especially Ukraine. And the
Amazing. Thank you, Phanindra. That was powerful. Yes, we can all do something. Thank you so much, Phanindra. Shola, you've got the microphone. You've been waiting patiently. Please unmute yourself.
All right. Thanks a lot, Yemi. I do appreciate. Okay, Shola Ezekiel.
Oh, I don't think his network is on his side.
Because I
Your network isn't helping. You want to try? All right, try.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You can hear me now, right?
Yes. You're Shola in Lagos.
Apologies. Yes.
Go on with your message or your question.
All right. So the entire Nigeria is with you. As a personality, I'm very much with you. Okay, I just want to ask, what would every individual, or should I say, what would be an individual contribution to aid the success of Ukraine in this invasion? So I just want to ask that question. What am I supposed to do? Of course, you spoke about signing the petition. How much of it do we have to encourage people to sign? At what level do we measure the success we are having by signing the petition? How well can Nigerians and me as an individual, the entire UPG family, how well can we support Ukraine in this current menace going on? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shola. I'm happy you said you saw the slide, because they had a slide talking about what we can all do. So I'm happy you said you saw it. I don't know if any of them wants to emphasize something from that slide. I don't know. But what we will also do is, for everybody who's here, we will send an email. So if you RSVP'd, we have your email. We will send out an email of the things they've suggested. Okay? But I don't know if Danka or any of you want to emphasize anything at this point in response to Shola. If you do, you've got the mic. You can unmute.
Yeah, actually, it's cool. Actually, guys, I sent a presentation. You can follow the link in chat, but especially for me, the most important thing is to share with people who don't realize what is happening in Ukraine. They don't know, or they just think that it's like war in Ukraine. Just tell them a truth, share this truth with them, and then encourage them do something for Ukraine. I know so many people like from Ukraine and also foreigners who do something, who donating, who like signed this petition, who message me, and I really appreciate it, and I really thank you. But for me, like, just tell them what is happening in Ukraine and it's, I guess, and I hope it will encourage them to do something for Ukraine. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. All right, if we move along on the agenda, there will be another chance for people to speak up, but I just want us to please, it's bizarre to applaud, but if you want, you can applaud, but can we just show love to our brothers and sisters in Ukraine, those who've spoken here, and of course, those who are on the ground, who are fighting and helping the country to stand. So we're sending you love. Thank you so much. The next item in the agenda has actually already been covered beautifully by the team. We wanted to talk about ways that everybody can help. If there is maybe something small we could add to that is, as you know, UPG's already selected a few international organizations that are doing good work, but we will also include some local organizations. Okay, so if you see on the screen, if you already want to pick, we've picked 3, you can pick anyone you want, but we've picked 3, we think they do good work and you can support them. We will also send out names of local organizations endorsed by our Ukrainian brothers and sisters that you can also support. Okay, you can find this on the website, which is upglive.org/United for Ukraine. Now, there's something else we wanted to share with you. And this is to listen to the president of Ukraine himself. And we'd like you to please listen to his words. Okay? Now, I hope you can see and hear the video. Somebody just maybe give me some verbal cues if you're able to hear it. I'm going to press play. Can you see the video?
Yes, hear me.
Excellent. And if I press play, can you hear him?
Ukraine is longing for peace. Europe is longing for peace. The world is saying it doesn't want any war, while Russia is claiming she doesn't want to intervene. They are blowing up something on their side.
All right. Could you hear it and could you see it?
Yes.
Please listen. When he's done, I will share some of my thoughts. Is that okay? But please, let's listen to him. The very first part of what you watch is before the invasion, I believe. But everything else is a man speaking after his country is invaded. This is not a movie. This is really happening. So please, let's honor him. Let's listen. And then I will share some thoughts if it's okay. And then we will open the floor again. All right? Thank you so much.
And shooting. This is not the first time since 2014 that they are aiming their guns and shooting at the territory that they themselves control.
Now, the destiny of our country is being decided. The destiny of our people, whether Ukrainians will be free, whether they will be able to preserve their democracy. Russia has attacked not just us, not just our land, not just our cities. It went on a brutal offensive against our values, basic human values. It threw tanks and planes against our freedom, against our right to live freely in our own country, choosing our own future.
Can you only imagine what words, how can you explain to your children that you just full-scale aggression just happened in your country?
On day 1 at 4 o'clock in the morning, we were attacked by cruise missiles. Everybody woke up, people, children, the entire Ukraine, and since that we have not been sleeping. We have all been fighting for our country with our army. On day 2, we have been fighting airstrikes, and our heroic military servicemen on the island Zmyny have been trying to fight. On day 5, the terror against us was going on against children, against cities, and constant shelling have been taking place around the country, including hospitals, and that didn't break us. And that gave us feeling of big truth. On day 6, the Russian rockets fell on Babin Yar, that is the place where the Nazis killed thousands of people during the Second World War. And 80 years after, the Russia hit at them for the second time, and even churches are getting destroyed by shelling.
Our Babin Yar, the place where victims of Holocaust were buried, and it has been bombed by the Russians.
Thousands of people who were killed, 2 revolutions, 1 war, and 5 days of full-scale invasion of the Russian Federation. 2 cruise missiles hit Kharkiv, the city which is located to the borders of the Russian Federation. There were always many Russians there, and they're always friendly. There were warm relations there. More than 20 universities are there. Imagine this morning, 2 cruise missiles hit this Freedom Square, dozens of killed ones. This is the price of freedom. Do prove that you will not let us go. Do prove that you indeed are Europeans, and then life will win over death, and light will win over darkness. Glory be to Ukraine.
When you call your friends, your friendly nation, and you ask, please close the sky, close the airspace, please stop the bombing. How many more cruise missiles have to fall on our cities until you make this happen? And they, in return, they express their deep concerns about the situation. When we talk with our partners, and they say, please hold on a little longer. Sometimes we don't see obvious things. It's a dire straits, but it also allowed us to see who our real friends are over the last 20 days, and as well 8 previous years. I'm sure that you've been able to see clearly what's going on, and I'm addressing all of you. Canada has always been steadfast in their support. You've been a reliable partner to Ukraine and Ukrainians, and I'm sure this will continue. You've offered your help, your assistance at our earliest request. You supply us with the military assistance, with humanitarian assistance. You've imposed serious sanctions. At the same time, we see that unfortunately they did not bring the end to the war. You can see that our cities like Kharkiv, Mariupol, and many other cities are not protected just like your cities are protected. Edmonton, Vancouver. You can see that Kyiv is being shelled and bombed. City of Ivano-Frankivsk. It used to be, we were a very peaceful country, peaceful cities, but now they're being constantly bombarded. Basically, what I'm trying to say that you all need to do more to stop Russia, to protect Ukraine, and by doing that, to protect Europe from Russian threat.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all for staying. Thank you all for listening. I hope you heard him. I hope you heard him. Do you agree that he's fighting? Do you agree that he's doing everything he can? Do you agree that he's doing it with incredible grace? I believe that last one was maybe from yesterday. Were there moments, were there words he used that you will remember? Were there words he used that you will remember? Imagine asking your friends for help and they tell you to hold on. All right. I want to share some thoughts, if you will let me. I agree with everything my Ukrainian brothers and sisters have said. I agree with everything His Excellency President Volodymyr Zelensky has said. Now, my own thoughts, the world has come a very long way, and we are building a future that actually we want to build. Many have died for the freedoms that we enjoy today, and if you're watching this, you're probably enjoying some of the freedoms that many people died for. Now, these people who died can actually be very proud of what we are building. Compared to the darkness of different eras of human history, our existence today in many parts of the world is very much like a beautiful park. People are free. Now, I want you to imagine standing in a beautiful park with your family. This is not just words. I want you to picture standing in a beautiful park with your family. And then a bully shows up. And that bully attacks another family. Do you stand there and do nothing? You're in a park, remember, and a bully is attacking another family. Now imagine that everyone in the park can see this bully and everyone agrees that that is wrong. Do you stand there and do nothing? Do you cheer the family and say, don't give up, we feel your pain, we'll send you weapons? I need you to imagine that you're in a park with your family, lots of other families. You're all safe, but one family is being attacked by a bully. You can all see it, and you all agree it's wrong. You're all speaking to each other, it's wrong. Do you stand there, or do you step in and tell the bully to stand back? Do you step in and tell the bully to stand back? You are being asked today to enforce the peace. Enforce the peace. I know in that part, I would enforce the peace. I would tell the bully to stand back. Now, who's with me? Who will ask the bully to stand back? You can just show me your hand. You don't need to raise it. Just show me your hand if you would ask that bully in that park to stand back. Thank you. What kind of humanity says that my neighbors should fight for their lives alone? What kind of humanity says that evil can take place just outside my borders? What kind of humanity says that evil can triumph because we are afraid? What kind of humanity says my friends, my heroes, my champions for democracy? We're calling Ukrainians champions for democracy. What kind of humanity says that these champions for democracy should fight for their lives alone? Now imagine if an animal attacks your sister. Do you stand by and tell her to keep fighting and not to give up? Or do you get involved? I need you to picture an animal attacks your sister. Do you understand that if an animal attacks your sister, by fighting that animal together, you save your sister, but you also save yourself? Do you understand that? Our Ukrainian brothers and sisters are fighting for their lives. We cannot sit by and say we will send them weapons. We cannot send romantic TV reports about their amazing courage. We have to enforce the peace. We have to enforce the peace. Are their lives not worth our blood? Now, these heroes, these courageous heroes we sing about, and we all admire, everybody admires the Ukrainians. They are hoping, and they are waiting. And while they wait, they are fighting. And while they wait, they are dying. And they ask from us one thing: enforce the peace. Give us a no-fly zone. Enforce the peace. They say we will fight, but with the no-fly zone, we stand a better chance. The only message that's right for them to hear is that help is coming right now. That's the only message. It's not, oh, you're doing great. It's not, oh, we admire your courage. The only message they need to hear is that help is coming. Now, we've all watched movies where there's a bad guy about to win, and suddenly, from nowhere, air support arrives, right? The fighter jets for freedom take off. Sadly, this is not a movie. This is real life. And those fighter jets are grounded because we are not using the power we have to write the ending of the story. There is only one ending that's appropriate right now. We need to enforce the peace. If you are religious, then I ask you to pray for Ukraine. God needs to intervene. If you are not religious, then I ask you to please think positive thoughts, meditate, whatever you call it. Now, when you are done praying or meditating, please let us move to action. I want you to please post, enforce the peace. It's the least we can do. Hashtag enforce the peace. Hashtag no-fly zone. Hashtag united for Ukraine. The leaders of the world's nations, they are waiting to hear from us. They are afraid. Right now, their most powerful excuse is this will start World War III. Well, it's already started. What on earth? I mean, it's already started. And the longer we wait, the more people die who don't need to die. The longer we wait, the more freedom dies. We are being asked to enforce the peace. Think about that bully in the park. I didn't go for him. I just told him to stand back. And we have the power to do that. We can close the airspace. We can do more. I never micromanage generals, but give them the mandate to enforce the peace, and that's what they'll do. If the invading force wants to negotiate, well, negotiate, but without bombing these cities, without killing these people. Go ahead and negotiate. In the meantime, as brothers and sisters of Ukraine, we have to enforce the peace. Right now, Ukraine is asking us to enforce a no-fly zone. Anyone who cares and anyone who agrees must post hashtag enforce the peace. Leaders are looking for the right words, so post it on social media. Call someone influential you know. All the other ideas are good too. But the only answer Ukraine needs right now is that we are going to enforce the peace. What kind of humanity watches this? I am ashamed to watch this on TV. For the first few days, I didn't watch it because it made me depressed. But how can you not watch? You need to know what's going on. But we shouldn't be watching this on TV. So anybody influential you know, tell them to speak. Tell them to post. As we all know, a friend in need is a friend indeed. A friend in need is a friend in action. Please, stop telling Ukrainians you admire their courage. Stop telling them you are their friend if you will not spill blood when they fight for their lives. That's not a friend. If there's any hour of need Ukraine has, it is right now. This is the time to take action. The bare minimum we must do is enforce the peace. All of us with a voice, all of us who breathe in places with freedom, post it. Hashtag enforce the peace. Let it trend. History will not judge kindly that we simply sent weapons to David while Goliath, with one of the largest armies in the world, slaughtered David's children? What on earth is that? Yes, by the way, when you see these reports, we should be outraged that children, the elderly, the vulnerable people are dying. But there's actually more. Ukrainian men and women should not be dying. Ukrainian soldiers should not be dying. Someone else has invaded their country, right there in our park. And so every death is blood spilled for freedom. We should be outraged by every single Ukrainian death. These media reports highlight the people they want us to pity. It's not okay that Ukrainian soldiers die. They are dying for the freedom we breathe. Friends, whether we like it or not, this is just the beginning. We will only find peace again after we find courage. We will only find peace after we find courage. And in every leader who says we will not close the airspace, this is a lack of courage. We do not have peace in the world right now. On the afternoon of November 19th, in 1863, in Gettysburg, in the United States, President Abraham Lincoln spoke some words. And he said that these dead, he was commemorating the dead from the American Civil War. These dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. When a dictator with a large army moves in to suppress freedom, it is that very same freedom that is dying from the earth. We are all compelled to act by our history, our common history as humanity. And whenever we are facing doom, to all of those who are worried about World War III, whenever we are facing doom or a potential Great Depression, in 1933, another president reminded us that in these moments, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. That was by Franklin D. Roosevelt. We have absolutely nothing to fear. You're in that park. Everybody agrees that the bully is wrong. Yet, all we can do is send love to the family that's being attacked. We have more power than this. We can tell the bully to stand back. We can enforce the peace. And this is what we must do. As we say here in Geneva, post tenebras lux. After darkness, light. Now we need to be that light. Let us be the light. Let us be united for Ukraine. Let us support all action to enforce the peace. Let us send this message high, far, and wide. Because right now on this planet, the courage has not been found. We need to help our leaders find the courage. The words they are looking for are enforce the peace. And ask them, what kind of humanity watches this happen? All right, thank you all so much. Those are my thoughts. As I promised, the floor is open now for any comments, questions, reactions before we move to close. Our Ukrainian brothers and sisters are here. They will also be able to answer. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending the time. Thank you for showing us you care. And thank you for committing to act. All right, so the floor is open again. If we can spotlight our Ukrainian brothers and sisters if they wish to be spotlighted. And then anybody who wants to speak, please put your hand up. And please show your video so we know you're really with us and we give you the mic. So who really wants to speak? As the Spirit moves you, put your hand up, please. Who really wants to speak? All right, Mohammed, you were first with your video. You got the mic, Mohammed Dean. Your name, where you are, or where you're from, and then share your question or your thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Amy. I'm Mohamedin Kamara from Sierra Leone, West Africa. Though my network was a bit poor during the presentation of our sisters from Ukraine, but it's really, really painful. It's so saddening listening and watching what has been happening. The time you need your friend the most, then they asked you to wait. It's so, so painful to see short things happening there. Of course, we all know Ukrainians to be one of the greatest democratic countries, but at this moment, they need our help. What they need now is far away beyond mere comments, mere expression. What they need now is action. So thank you very much, Mr. Yemi, for what you've just shared. It's our responsibility. I believe we are all a family and we should, and one way or the other, do our best. The least we can do now is to pray for them, for all, some of us that do believe in prayers, and for others, a single word to your senior brother or your elder brother or your father can change the narrative. Explain to them, dad or mom or sister, this is what you should do. You can do it. I believe there are certain people here that can make a big change. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. To those African brothers and sisters who say the world doesn't care about Africa, why is Ukraine getting all this coverage? Do you think spreading more darkness is the answer we need? I think we can all agree that what's happening right now is wrong. And so we all need to be part of spreading more light. If you want the world to care about the issue in your region, in your country, well, let's start by caring about any issue we can rally around. And this is one we can. So please, as Mohammed said, spread the word. And if somebody tells you, oh, I'm tired of talking about Ukraine, tell them why they're wrong. Okay? Tell them we need to spread the light. That light will never come where you care if we don't spread it where we can. And we can in Ukraine. All right, thank you. Ali, you've got the microphone. Please unmute yourself. Thank you. Are you able to? Ali Shiraz.
Hello.
All right, please go ahead.
Hello.
Thank
You
you.
are listening?
Yes.
My voice is clear. Hello, I am Ali Shiraz Lias from Pakistan. Overall, the main theme I want to discuss is that it is a big platform and fascinating platform where all type of different cultural and tradition peoples are allocated and motivated to give a voice against the Ukraine. I think these theoretical applications should be adjusted to the practical applications, that all the countries should be united to give a voice against the Ukraine, and they should be united in order that all the countries should, that all the government of all the countries should be united in order to work for the Ukraine. So in this way, we can work for it, not about this just raising voice in theoretical things. We have to be united, that all the governments should be united in this platform in order to give voice for the Ukraine.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Abdullahi, you look ready. So please unmute yourself, Abdullahi. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Not to sound insensitive or anything, it's just that I'm curious. So my Ukrainian brothers and sisters in the house, I have 2 or 3 questions to ask. Okay, the first being that, what are international organizations like Amnesty International and the United Nations doing to stop Russia from invading Ukraine? Also, we hear in the news that countries like China wants to support Ukraine. And then from the presentation Yemi shared with us, we saw that Canada, the president mentioned that Canada is supporting them. Are there any other countries that have pledged support to Ukraine, like open support? Yeah, thank you.
All right, so if any of our Ukrainian brothers and sisters wants to speak, put your hand up, we'll unmute you. But Abdullahi, the international organizations are counting the dead bodies. That's what they're doing. They're shipping aid, but they're counting dead bodies. They are made up of nation states. They don't have their own armies. They can't make independent decisions. They have to wait for the countries to act. Okay? But they are counting, they're reporting the dead bodies, they're sending aid, they're doing some good things, but that's pretty much what I see they're doing. Now, you asked the question about which nations, pretty much, I mean, every nation has declared some kind of support for Ukraine. So this is not a question of we need to get them to declare support. They've sent wonderful compliments to Ukraine, but they're watching the bully kill Ukrainian people. They are watching, Abdullahi. Imagine your family was under attack and we all called you to say, Abdullahi, you're super courageous, keep fighting. And your house was surrounded. That's what's happening. But they're all saying nice things. Please, if our Ukrainian brothers and sisters want to add to this, please share. Danka, you may unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, thank you for question. Actually, I want to try to answer for second question about China and other country. As I see now, China has like strong economic relationship with Russia. That's why they do nothing for Ukraine now. Moreover, some global brands, some global business go from the Russia. They leave Russia, and Russia need to be try to be more economically like trying to figure out. So they even ask China investors, if I'm not mistaken, as I see now from media and what I read, they ask China investors like put money to Russia, support Russia business, and as we mentioned today, it's so bad. Like, do not support Russia. Not even like giving them a weapon, not even give them any support. It's like from my point of view. Alexandra maybe could add something.
Thank you, Danka. Alexandra, do you want to add something? Please go ahead.
Yemi, you are so right. You are so right about that. They do help some countries. There are many countries that help Ukraine. This is aid. This is humanitarian aid, and many countries opened their borders to Ukrainian refugees, to Ukrainian students and pupils, so that they can continue the education process. But we always have but, unfortunately, even with their help, you know that Elon Musk even helps. So they gave this Starlink so Ukrainian army can use it, and they give money so we could buy a weapon, and some countries sent their weapon to us, to Ukraine, so we could protect our, not protect, sorry, I forgot the word, but yes, to fight. And the only thing that Ukrainian army asks is, please close the sky. We will make it on the ground, but please close the sky, because we don't have such machines, such technique to avoid this bombing our cities. This is all.
Thank you so much. All right. I think we have to move to close this time that we come together. We will be together again next week, but the problem is this is not a normal time. We don't know what's going to happen when we wake up tomorrow. We don't even know what's going to happen tonight. So yes, we look forward to seeing each other when we are scheduled to, but it's more important that from this moment we take our own action. Leaders need to hear from us. So we will share some of the messages from this event with everyone who's here. But please, let's take action and let's support each other. So if people post, please like it, please share it. If you can't find something to post, you can't find the words, just post "Enforce the Peace, United for Ukraine." Okay? You can add "no-fly zone." But we need to help leaders find the courage to take action. As our Ukrainian brothers and sisters have highlighted, as President Zelensky has highlighted, nations have done many things, but they haven't done the one thing Ukraine requested. And the many things they've done are not enough. Even in the words of Vladimir Putin, what they've done already amounts to a declaration of war. So why are they afraid to enforce the peace? Right? Why are they afraid to enforce the peace? This is a lack of courage. And we are breathing the air of freedom for people who died so we can breathe it. Our history compels us to enforce the peace. All right. I want to give the floor to any of the Ukrainians who want to say any final thoughts. After that, we will listen to the Ukrainian national anthem, and then we will see you next time or see you online. So Danka, Alexandra, Nata, Oksana, if you want to say anything. Oh, I see Valeria's hand. Valeria, you want to speak? Okay, so let's start with Valeria. Valeria, you can unmute yourself, please, and then the others can speak. Valeria?
Yeah, thank you. I'm also from Ukraine. I was answering in the chat to some of the questions, so thank you for giving me a word. I was also in UPG in 2021, not that active, but still. Yeah, I just wanted to answer that previous question regarding the help from different nations. Actually, we do feel the support from many countries, and lots of support is given to us from lots of countries, both from individual people and from the countries in general. From the last news, the US gave us, I have translated it, that there is the new military aid package to Ukraine, which includes 800 air defense systems, which is a great help. If they cannot close the sky, air defense systems are the ones which may help us to fight with Russian rockets and missile attacks. And when it comes to the international organizations, also from the last news, we have the International UN Court told, how to say this? I'm forgetting Ukrainian English words, but the International UN Court made Russia to told Russia to stop the full-scale aggression, and they supported Ukrainians fully. And that is a good sign. So yeah, we keep fighting. We are really thankful for all the support from the international community, and we do hope that Ukraine will win in this fight, which we did not start.
Thank you very much, Valeria. All right. Our other Ukrainian brothers and sisters, you also have the last word. If there's anything you want to say, you are all able to unmute yourselves at any point and speak. So who wants to go? Nata, you ready?
Yes, yes, Yemi, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Actually, thank you, UPG, for this opportunity, and thank you all who came to our session, who supported us, who gave us so nice and warm words. And yes, we are still have an intention to continue our sessions. So if you or your friends or your colleagues would like to join us next week, you are invited to the session. We would like to say this information that was shared today, and maybe we'll share another information. And we are really asking you to share this within your communities, within your countries, within your friends. So at least if you can share information, it's also helping us the same as other donations and something like that. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Nata. Who wants to speak next? Danka, do you want to speak now? You can. Oksana?
I
Alexandra?
can. shortly I could go next. Actually, I'm really happy to see here like my colleagues from UP, not only from Ukraine, but obviously from Ukraine, yeah, but from UPG class. My colleagues from my tribe, I really appreciate it. From colleagues which I met like during our training, I really appreciate it. I so deeply thank you for all who come here. Also, we prepared like different content for next session, and we would like to present more about Ukraine, go deeper about why this Russia intervention happened. So maybe Yemi or Rodrigo, you could tell more detail how much time we will have. Could we, maybe I don't know how to say, I also have an idea to to invite my friend from Ukraine organization who help. Yeah.
Full support. So thank you, Danka. What we want to do next time, of course, we will keep talking about ways to support Ukraine, but we would like to talk about, if you like, going beyond the headlines, understanding the conflict beyond the headlines. And so there'll be that opportunity next time. But between now and next time, we need to act. We need to take action because we don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. Who wants to speak next? But thank you, Danka. Who wants? Alexandra, please go ahead.
Yes, Yemi, thank you one more time. I can say, and I think all my colleagues from Ukraine thinks the same. We are so appreciate your support, and we even didn't know if you will let us to share the presentation because we have been prepared for a week. We discussed we choose the information. We decided what is the important things. And for those who asked in chats why Russia attacked Ukraine, I promise you, if I'll be okay and I'll manage to visit the next session, I will try to shortly answer this question because this answer it's really difficult and there are so many things. So I have to, you need more time to give the short answer. So, and I appreciate your support, your straight position, Yemi. I really surprised you. You are so, well, you inspired us and your words of support are very precious for us these days. Every word of support precious. And the things that you ask everybody to act, I admire this. Thank you so much. You are really family. Thank you.
Thank you. We are together. Thank you so much. Did anybody else want to speak from the Ukrainian brothers and sisters, or did you all have a chance? Okay. All right. Thank you so much to everybody who's here. Everybody. I think you can understand that just your mere presence is inspiring. So thank you very much for being here. I do wake up every day slightly afraid to check the news because I don't want to hear that freedom has died. And so every day is precious. Please don't hesitate. Find a post you like it, share it. Okay? If you can summon up the words yourself, post something. But people need to hear that it's okay. It's important to enforce the peace. Right now, what the media is talking about is about any intervention is too dangerous. This is a lack of courage. But they are good people. They will find their courage. But we need them to find it before freedom dies. Are you with me? So we need to help them find it. Nobody is asking them to declare war on Russia. There's a big distinction between declaring war and enforcing the peace. You can understand that, right? Let's help them to understand that. Sometimes when you come in to enforce the peace, the bully attacks you. But it doesn't mean you started a war. Light is on our side. We should not be afraid. Alexandra, did you want to say something? Please, you got the mic. Please say what you want to say. And then we will listen to the national anthem and then close. Thank you.
Yes, it's only one thing. Today in Ukraine, the words, how are you? You know what does it mean? It means I love you. Every Ukrainian knows that. So if you write to somebody from Ukraine, how are you? We know that you tell us that you love us. Thank you.
Thank you. That's so beautiful. And as I say to anybody who's close to me, the best way to show your love is through action, right? So please, I'm sick and tired of watching poetic reports on BBC and CNN. We need action. And right now, the leaders, they can't find the words. Let's give it to them. Let's show them that we need to enforce the peace. And it's even more powerful when you don't come from Ukraine. Of course, our Ukrainian brothers and sisters should post the same thing, but all of us should post the same thing. Let this be clear that all of us in this park, we can see that bully. And we're not just going to cheer from the sidelines. We want to step in. We want to enforce the peace. All right. God bless you. We will play the Ukrainian national anthem, and then we will close for this time. So please, I don't know if just give me a thumbs up if you can hear the sound. I think this time we should let a woman sing it. Is that okay with you?
Ні слава, ні воля, ще нам, браття українці, усміхнеться доля. Згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці. Запануєм ми, браття, у своїй сторонці. Душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що
all right, thank you all so much. Please stay safe. Thank you so much for being here. Let's move to action. Let's show love through action. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for coming and staying. Thank you.